The information did not come from an anonymous whistleblower, a leaked memo, or confidential government files. It came directly from Donald Trump's own financial disclosure, offering a detailed look at how closely his business interests remained connected to his time in public office. During the segment, Kaitlan Collins displayed the figures on screen as the discussion began.
We are going to be showing over the coming weeks and months, you're not even going to believe. Some of you will believe it, like CNN will believe it because they knew what was going on. They're crooked as hell. CNN's a very corrupt organization, but with a corrupt reporter standing right there. Never smiles. She never smiles. She's a young, beautiful woman, never smiles. I never see a smile off her face. I see her standing there with hatred in her eyes, like, yeah, what do you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who
you are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile in your face. You know why? You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization.
Who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
They thought they released too much. You know, I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, you know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein. And they should be ashamed of you. Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing, you know, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines. She has hatred because we have borders, because we have a strong military, because we cut our taxes, because we do things that everybody wanted, and then we win our election in a massive landslide. You should be ashamed of yourself. You used to be a conservative. She was a conservative from Alabama. Can you believe it? But CNN, in particular, CNN.
Women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. You know, I heard that. And you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really. You know, now that
the disclosure listed income from a wide range of business ventures, including cryptocurrency projects, licensing deals, branded watches, commemorative coins, Bibles, golf resorts, and numerous companies carrying the Trump name. One cryptocurrency venture connected to Trump, World Liberty Financial, reportedly generated hundreds of millions of dollars through token sales. The filing also indicated that foreign investors had established financial relationships with businesses associated with the president and his sons. The White House maintained that Trump was not personally involved in the day-to-day management of those companies and insisted that no government policy had been shaped by his family's private financial interests. Collins centered her reporting on a question that remained even after those assurances. How could a president responsible for shaping cryptocurrency policy simultaneously have substantial financial interests connected to the same industry? The broadcast then revisited Trump's earlier public statements. Before becoming a strong supporter of digital assets, Trump had openly criticized cryptocurrency, describing it as risky and potentially fraudulent. After returning to office, however, his administration adopted a far more favorable approach, easing regulatory pressure and backing policies that many cryptocurrency companies viewed positively. During that same period, business ventures carrying the Trump brand in the digital asset sector expanded significantly. The financial disclosure did not establish evidence of criminal wrongdoing, and Collins made that distinction clear. But she also noted that concerns over conflicts of interest do not arise only after criminal charges are filed. They begin whenever the public struggles to determine whether government decisions are being made solely for the national interest, for personal financial benefit, or for some combination of both. The discussion then shifted to international investments. According to the reporting cited in the segment, a company connected to the United Arab Emirates had acquired a significant interest in World Liberty Financial. Additional reports also described foreign individuals and businesses participating in investments, partnerships, transactions, and other financial relationships involving enterprises connected to the Trump family. Collins explained that the U.S. Constitution contains provisions intended to limit presidents from accepting certain benefits from foreign governments without congressional approval. Legal scholars, however, continue debating how those constitutional safeguards should apply to today's complex business structures, multinational investments, and rapidly evolving digital asset markets. Trump's response followed a pattern familiar to many observers. Rather than outlining detailed safeguards designed to separate presidential decision-making from his family's financial interests, he criticized CNN's reporting, dismissed the coverage as politically motivated, and argued that the profits reflected nothing more than the success of his business brand. Critics responded that while those remarks generated headlines, they did little to address the financial figures themselves or the broader questions surrounding potential conflicts of interest. For many older viewers, the comparison brought to mind earlier presidential approaches to avoiding even the appearance of financial influence. Former President Jimmy Carter placed his family peanut business into an arrangement intended to minimize concerns about conflicts during his presidency. Other presidents chose blind trusts or divested major assets to strengthen public confidence that official decisions would remain separate from personal wealth. Trump adopted a different approach. His name continued appearing on commercial products. His family remained actively involved in business operations, and industries directly affected by federal policy continued generating revenue through ventures associated with the Trump brand. For supporters, that reflected the continuation of a successful business empire. For critics, it raised enduring questions about where public responsibility ends and private financial interests begin.